Hello and welcome to Australian Transformers Weekly, the podcast of Transformers Collectors Club Australia. And I should have thought more about rewriting this intro when I had the run sheet in front of me for the last hour. We are bringing you Transformers news from around the world and across Australia. This is episode 255. We are recording live Friday, April 29th. 2022. This week we will be talking about new Legacy reveals, the latest movie masterpiece figure, and would anyone that you know pay money to own the Netflix War for Cybertron series? I'm not entirely sure I would. All of that.
Please, someone leave a comment if you would. Genuinely curious.
Yeah, please do. We might bring you in and get you to talk about it. All of that and more is coming up after this. Brad is nodding as if he's already paid for it. After this. G'day and welcome. This is episode 255. I'm Jason. Joining me this week, we have Max coming to us from Adelaide. How's it going over there, Max?
It's bloody freezing, but otherwise doing all right.
When we were scheduling for this week, you said that there was a very large rainfall expected in Adelaide. There is that eventuating? Is that like you do look like you are quite cold?
Yeah, it hasn't come through quite as much. We've just had the cold front move through. It's that sort of horrible time of year in Adelaide where it's still bone dry but just freezing cold, so it's all just a bit miserable.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
You haven't updated the group, but you are about to set forth on the Witwiki expedition to the Arctic Circle. It seems. Nice big orange puffer jacket.
he may be about to
just the Megatron. Just safety first.
Yeah. So, look, you do need safety first when you are looking for buried Decepticon leaders in the ice. The other voice that you heard there is our erstwhile leader Brad Mull coming to us from an undisclosed location in Barnawatha, Victoria. I'm not meant to say Barnawatha, but judging by the darting of your eyes around the room, there's also someone who appears to be doing the dishes in the background.
Yes, there certainly is. Hello.
Fantastic.
Evening,
How's it
guys.
going there?
We're back to discuss some Transformers. And unfortunately, because there's not a lot of news tonight, I have the comments open. Hello, Rob, Chris, and Nicholas, and 2 Facebook users in the comment section. Good evening,
Fantastic,
lads.
yes.
And
We do like to bring in live comments from people. There's our good friend Nick from AFI. Nick, I received a large package full of comics from you today. Thank you very much. And yeah, it's great. And Chris Hunt, thank you very much. Chris, if you would like to tell us why you would like to buy the Netflix War for Cybertron series, we can bring you in and you can talk about it. About why.
That's your in. That's your in.
That's the hurdle you have to jump. You have to actually show us a receipt that you've purchased.
It's like Debate Club, where you need to actually come up with a reason for something, even if you don't actually support the position. So, 400 words, double spaced, and on my desk by Friday, please. We'll see how we go. And I will say also to the people who are coming up as Facebook user, if you just head over to streamyard.com/Facebook, you can grant permissions to our app to see your name so that we can bring you up on screen and say hello to you. And there we go.
Oh no,
Chris says I'm your War for Cybertron Netflix rep. There we go.
Chris, does that mean you spent money on it? Have you done it?
Haven't we all spent money on War for Cybertron in some form? Not the Netflix.
Not
Netflix. The Netflix figures we have.
Yeah, depends.
Technically,
I don't think there's any way the money goes there. I mean, maybe if you bought something from Siege, then maybe the money found its way to Kingdom at some point. So
it's true.
You know.
Actually, interesting thing came up this week. I'll talk about this very briefly, just coming up. There's one of the Hasbro designers who has been fronting the live stream reveals for the last year or so. His name's Mark. I'm not actually sure what his surname is, but he's started becoming a lot more active on Instagram and talking about product decisions and design and sort of how they get from design to the toy. His Instagram name is Mark Clonus because he's a very big fan of Cyclonus. So he played very heavily into one of the stories that we'll be talking about tonight. But he's put up a very interesting couple of posts. And I think I've led into this too much because I think it was actually the Hasbro roundtable that they were talking about, but Mark was on that roundtable, and he mentioned that some of the Netflix line toys are considered exclusive to Walmart. So we saw I think we saw last episode the Siege Wave 2 reveals, not Siege, the Legacy Wave 2 reveals. And we were wondering why they're reusing the Siege Soundwave mold in there instead of the far superior Earthrise Soundwave, also known as Netflix Soundwave. And the answer on that was that that figure is actually considered Walmart exclusive at the moment. So until some undisclosed period of exclusivity on that runs out, we won't be seeing that figure reissued in other lines. That probably also accounts for why we haven't seen the Volkswagen Bumblebee turn up anywhere else as well as of yet. So we'll see how that goes. So what else has been happening this week, guys? There was a lovely disturbance in the Facebook group today, but. Before we get to that, how's things going in collecting land? Has there been anything notable happen?
I'm not seeing a lot of new stuff on shelves, so I haven't really been doing a lot of new collecting. Apart from the little Spike exosuit, which apart from his head sculpt, I think the Masterpiece is a better version, so I didn't pick it up. But apart from that, it's dry times here.
It's dry times everywhere. We are in a bit of a holding pattern until new releases come out. We are expecting Legacy to start hitting store shelves pretty soon. But before we talk about Legacy hitting store shelves, there was a small meltdown on Facebook today that resulted in another meltdown. Facebook made some kind of a change to their system this morning that meant if you browse our discussion group in newest activity mode, which is usually the default thing. So like if someone comments on a post, it comes back up to the top of the feed. Some poor engineer at Facebook had a bad night and broke that so that it sorted posts from oldest to the newest, which meant people came into the group this morning only to find that Brad had apparently been on a posting spree overnight, posting lots of things from 2013, including this very informative photo from his local Target store showing Metroplex on the shelves on sale for $120. Now I can say that I've had several people message me today just going like, "Holy shit, Metroplex for $120! I can't believe it." I'm like, "Well, it's from 2013." Oh dear.
Well,
So,
without
yes.
bearing the lead, 9 years of TCCA, so yay us.
That's right.
It's almost like a scam. It's one of those things that's too good to be true. How are you believing that there's Metroplex on the shelf?
You know what?
Toy
I
worlds
am
have a
actually
tendency
reminded.
to dig out old stuff.
Yeah,
You
true.
You see prime figures out with reasonable frequency.
Yeah.
Yeah. I am reminded that Metroplex was cited at retail stores in the US this year. A couple of months ago. Apparently, a couple of them some of them turned up at a couple of discount stores somewhere. I don't really know much about like discount store chains in the US, but someone found Metroplexes somewhere in a storeroom somewhere and just put them out on sale at some bargain basement price. So yeah.
I've still got it now. Facebook user. It's
got a comment
comment
from Facebook user saying Brad still had the mullet in 2013. Brad, I thought the mullet was going.
It was, but yes, I decided not to.
Very good,
I'll keep it
very
for another year. But I do I do understand the confusion, especially now when we do have news of a new Metroplex coming out. Maybe some people seen it without looking too hard at the box and thought, "Oh, Titans Metroplex. Maybe this is the new Cybertron one that's coming out." But I think as I commented on one of the posts today, when someone commented on this, Target back then was trying to get rid of them, something shocking. Like, look at all the space it's taken up, and it was going to be a through line for all the Titans figures coming up after that. Just they didn't get as many in as what we got or what we see here.
I mean, look
Every
at
game.
that. That's three. That's three across on the shelf, and that's several deep.
And 2 deep, or
Is
6.
it 2 deep? Yeah.
Yeah, 2 deep. Yep.
Is this the last time Target stocked a Titan? I feel like it is.
Did they have Devastator?
No, I got mine from Big W when they had that big mid-year sale, and everyone was lining up at midnight to get one. I'm going to say, yeah, Fort Max was Maya, and may have been Big W as well. Tripticon was definitely Big W. Predaking I never seen here. I heard it was Toy World.
Yeah, that makes
So
sense.
yeah.
Yeah. Interesting. Yeah, very, very interesting. Yeah, so I think we know why Target doesn't stock Titans anymore, thanks to this photo. But yes.
Yet they've got Lego Star Wars sets in the same size boxes in there, the Razor Crest and other large sets.
Yeah, but they haven't.
For
a
lot more money.
They haven't had to put them on sale to move them, have they?
No.
Yeah. Anyway, like I will also just point out while we're dumping on Facebook that someone from Facebook apparently woke up having gone to sleep overnight and having broken groups everywhere worldwide. They did wake up and fix it this morning US time, so it's back to normal. So we've taken our warnings and the like down. Yeah. Also, you can tell this is from 2013 because there's cars and planes there. Do you remember how bad Planes was as a movie?
I enjoy it. I'm not going to go any further.
No, fair enough. I thought it was disappointing, but it was a nice attempt to expand the Cars universe. But
if you can accept the universe, then it's fine. There's issues. There's issues.
Yes, that's fair enough. I mean, look, isn't that also the case with Transformers?
Look at it all.
Yeah, fair enough. All right, let's get to some news, shall we? We're gonna first of all for news, we are just gonna I'm gonna kick the screen share out for a minute. We did mention Legacy stuff is coming. It is listed on Big W's website now. I should have opened up a tab on Big W. I didn't. Let me see whether I can do this live. There we go. I'll bring this back in. Big W's website showing Transformers Generations Legacy Deluxe assorted with a kind of a unpleasant price tag that people are not very happy about, with $39 showing up on the price tag for a deluxe, which seems to be becoming the new norm for Transformers Deluxes. Happily, if I do this live as well, let's try this. Happily, Voyagers apparently have not moved. I don't know why that didn't work.
Yeah,
at all.
I've tried looking. I can't actually get
Wait,
anything.
I
to
know
show
you're
up
right.
on Big W.
They're not.
It's
they're
the
not there
worst
to say are.
UI. It's
Go back down. Is there a Will Smith slap novel out already? Did I
Oh,
just
wow.
miss that?
Hang on.
Go down
Wait,
a little bit.
we're talking about the real news.
Yeah. Will
Legacy,
no, it's not slap.
Wilbur Smith Legacy of War.
Wilbur Smith Legacy of War.
That's close enough.
Oh,
Yeah,
That's
why not?
selective
Why not? I mean, I believe Wilbur Smith co-wrote that with Chris Rock.
Anyway,
Now-
back to the point at hand.
So I can be very sneaky here, right? Like, if we actually look for Big W Legacy Voyagers, we should actually be able to find this through Google. And there we go. There's the Voyagers. So Big W is listing the Voyagers, Bulkhead, and Blaster for Wave 1 at $49, which is a welcome lack of price rise on the Voyagers. But yeah. What is not listed yet is the leader class figures. They're apparently not due for another couple of months. And the core class figures have seem to have not turned up yet either. But we'll see how they go.
And I imagine it'll be a big deal when Motormaster shows up in pre-order, because that'll be a big mid-year toy sale thing, won't it?
Yeah, I think Motormaster is likely to come to Big W for the mid-year toy sale, which I think is around late July. The upward inflection on that would imply that I don't really know.
Yeah, it's been kind of weird because a lot of the early wave Siege stuff has shown up on all the standard. I mean, not Siege, Legacy. It's all up on HLJ, Zavi, all of that. But Motormaster's just weirdly absent for whatever reason.
Oh, Motormaster's not an early wave. Like, he's actually due later in the year, like around October, November. But Hasbro's had a history of bringing Commander class figures to Australia first for these sales. So that's why we're expecting it for Big W, but no one else is expecting it that early in the year. So lucky us. And Jonathan says the start of July is the Big W toy sale. So we'll see. I'm pretty sure it was late last year, but I'm not sure. So, yeah. All right.
Can you backtrack to the images of the deluxes again? Did they come with a tiny figure at all?
They do not. No.
Oh no, it's just a okay.
The deluxes are just photographed with their alt mode there.
Yeah, no, as Rob said, like $9 difference between the deluxe and the Voyagers, and obviously that different scale. But
well, I mean, look, everything's been going up. The product line has seen an average price rise of 12% this year in the States. They're not gonna deluxes are not gonna stay at $30 forever. Kmart held that price point down. They've been going up everywhere else for the last couple of years, and you can't really hold the tide back of those price rises for too long.
Yeah, so I was sort of looking at the actual numbers and just doing the exchange rates a bit the other day, and so noticed that the way it's eventuated is like we're still paying more per figure than people are in the US. That's just always going to be a thing, I suppose. But price rises have been steadily increasing in the States, whereas they've sort of held fast in Australia. So whereas we used to be paying about twice as much as they did, we're now paying about, we're paying like 1.5 times as much as they do.
I don't know that we were ever really paying twice as much as they were. Like the deluxe price in the States used to be $20, and like for us, if we go with the Kmart price, it's $30. Convert 20 US to Australian dollars, you get about $25, $26. Add GST, you get about 28. So like I don't think we were paying that much more. But if you shopped at other places, because like Kmart didn't get everything, if you shopped at other places, then sure, you'd be paying a little bit more on top of that as well. But of course, we get the Australia tax as well. So yeah.
So unless you're Roddy, I'm going to start collecting the legacy line. Anyone interested in any of this? Obviously, RCs, like the Transformers Prime RC is a lot better, so I can't see anyone getting RC just for RC. Yes, people are going to get Motormasters because, hell, we got a new combiner coming along, and from what we've seen so far, it's going to be a bit better than what come before it. Any of you keen on Kickback or Skids?
I think Kickback is probably my favourite figure of Wave 1, and I'm just looking for him on my desk. I can't find him, but hang on. So
without seeing the image up close and only a blurry one.
Yeah, I mean, like, I can take out the it's probably better if I just show the picture on the screen share, but I don't know. No, like I've got the Wave 1 Deluxes here. I really like them. They are on the small side compared to older figures. But that's been the case with the War for Cybertron scale for the last few years. And I've just made an absolute Hail Mary and reached into a pile of figures, knocked down Blaster, but there we go. There's Kickback. Kickback, yeah, I think Kickback is probably my favorite figure of Wave 1, and this is despite the fact that he has a typical Insecticon transformation, which is flip him over and flip a couple of things around. He's a great figure. He's very reminiscent of his G1 toy. Modern articulation. Yeah, really like it. There's I said earlier when I posted the links to the Big W sales, like there isn't a bad deluxe in Wave 1. The weakest one is probably RC, but she's not a bad figure.
Now, by all accounts, from what I've heard, everyone seems to think she's better in person.
She is very
Whereas
much.
the photos don't tend to do that figure much credit.
Yeah.
That's
No,
that's
true.
Transformers 101.
Yes. Yeah. My goodness, people react to the very existence of a toy in potentially bad ways. But yeah. So yeah, legacy figures will be coming to Big W. They'll be coming everywhere. These we've been waiting for these figures for ages. This is why, Brad, you said earlier, we're in a drought. There's no new figures because this stuff has just been, we've been waiting so long for this stuff. Even the new Studio series, the Bumblebee wave, didn't really hit retail shelves earlier this year. They ended up at Pop Culture and Amazon, but we haven't actually seen them in store. Which does bring me, while we're talking about releases this week, overseas releases today / Monday. Don't quite know if it's today or Monday, but it's the 1st of May, which is technically Sunday. We will be seeing Studio Series Leader Class Sludge. The third Dinobot is releasing over in Asia today, and the probably the last of the Bumblebee figures, Ironhide and RC, they are coming out as well, and those guys are getting packed 2 to a crate each. 2 to a crate? No, 3 each to a crate, with a repack of Bumblebee Wheeljack and 86 Perceptor as well. So there will be a little bit of extra Perceptor stock out there in the next couple of months if you're still looking for him, which I think a lot of people might still be. Right. It's time to talk about some news instead of some releases. And first up, not that. We have, first up, we do have the new masterpiece movie figure MPM 13 Blackout was revealed this week by Hasbro China. He is a reimagining or a lot of people have compared the figure. Sorry, I'm just looking for the photos. A lot of people have compared him to the fairly well received Studio Series Blackout from. I think he was he one of the first Studio Series Leader Class.
He was Wave 1 leader.
Yeah.
He was one of those ones that got leaked back in. I forget, it was a long bloody time ago, but it was almost a full year before we heard anything about Studio Series, and there was that sort of massive sheet of leaked figures, not a really blurry image, which had just everything from the first 2 waves.
So we're looking at a nice masterpiece style reimagining of Blackout, and also I gotta say the thing that catches my eye about the first image here is the Transformers 15th anniversary logo that's emblazoned there as well. So there's a 2007 to 2022 Transformers 15. Can't tell if it says anniversary or 15 years or whatever there, but it's nice to know that Hasbro is aware of the anniversaries for some of their franchises. They appear to have forgotten others, but I guess Beast Wars got especially noted for its anniversary, and Transformers Prime got a figure re-release. Animated gets nothing.
Also, thank you, Hasbro,
I'm not
for making us feel old.
Yeah, exactly. So 15 years ago, Blackout burst onto our screens in the very first scene. It was the very first Transformer that we saw in live action, and this new NPM is a celebration of that figure with a brand new sculpt and brand new molding and detailing. He looks really impressive. I think over the years we've come to accept the movie designs for a lot of these figures, and I think there's quite a lot of people who are very very happy to add these movie masterpiece figures to their collections. Brad,
Yeah,
I'm going to
absolutely.
throw. Brad, I'm going to throw to you because you are the movie fan here.
Yes. As you said, it is a first. We always remember our first.
We do.
It's a shame it didn't have a bigger role in the films. It's for all the criticisms about the Decepticon designs in that first film. I think Blackout is one of the stronger designs. Come in, wreck shop, and when the re-release of Studio Series 1 come along, that looked fantastic, and this looks just as good as well. So I love it. I haven't got any other movie masterpiece figures as good as they look, but this might be my first.
Well, that's a nice endorsement. Jonathan also says Blackout was Studio Series number 08. He was indeed, yes. And Chris says, I'm not a Bayformers fan, but I'm happy it exists for those who are. That's an excellent attitude to take, because I am too. I think it looks good. Yeah, look,
if you're an aviation fan, you've got a nice Sea-King helicopter to put on your stand and don't even worry about transforming it. But then we've talked about that with Jada Toys and having the die-cast stuff and not having it in robot mode. So, and just the fact that it's got the tailgate ramp drops down and Scorponok can come out. It's
comparing things like even just having a
detail like
completely
that's just
seamless
really nice.
bottom, without any gaps or kibble there, it's just quite a nice looking piece.
Yeah,
it certainly is.
It does sort of just
it's
come
nice
off
that they've
as
shown us what the box looks like from all angles at once. But yeah,
it's been flattened.
Yeah,
they're kind of like that. It's, I mean, a lot of people sort of commented that it does just look like a Studio Series upgraded, and I don't think there's anything wrong with that sentiment. But also, it's like, yeah, I don't particularly see any issue with that, because I think that first Studio Series figure was a bit of a favorite. So if it ain't broke, don't fix it. They've just obviously added plenty of articulation, a few more panels, but
I don't think it's actually the Studio Series mold.
oh no, I just mean like there's clearly
I
some
think the
shared
size is a bit
engineering.
different.
Yeah, like
possibly. Yeah, I mean,
it
like
probably
I said,
is
if
just a
that's- if
natural
that's not
product
broken-
of, it's a product of just the fact that it's the same design, of course, but there is like just I guess the proportions, particularly in the arms, they seem to fold in a really similar way, at least from what I can tell. Like I said, it's not a problem.
There's quite some detail. There's quite some difference in the detail around the feet, and also the apparatus behind his head. Like it's the same thing, but it's obviously sculpted. It's molded in far more detail. So, I'm pretty sure this is quite different to the Studio Series 1.
But let's not forget too, and yeah, thanks, Mark. I shouldn't have said Sea-King. Even the original 07 figure that come out, the Voyager for this, standing, I won't say posed, on the shelf, looked fantastic like the CGI model. It had no ankle tilts. You couldn't do anything with it, but he walks, he blows shit up on screen. He doesn't do superhero landing or anything on screen anyway. So, but the fact now we've got two future or further reincarnations of it just goes to show. And plus, I haven't got it in here, but there is a Prime One Studio statue of him as well. So it's definitely a character that a lot of fans.
We don't.
No,
do statues.
I know. It's a character that a lot of fans and a lot of Transformers Bay lovers, I don't know.
I guess, it's a sort of thing where, I mean, the first movie came out when I was 8 years old, I think, and I'm 22 now. Like, people have grown up with these things, and for a lot of people, I can imagine, Blackout would have been literally the first Transformer they ever saw on screen.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
there's quite a bit of significance to it.
Well, we're going to get to something like that later on, where it's always someone's G1. This
exactly
Netflix waffles are on. So
I thought you were alluding to the next story.
No.
Okay.
No.
Fair enough. All right. So
it looks good if it's I think the original Megatron movie masterpiece was like 140, 150 or something. If it's under 150, I might consider it, but I'd hate to know what pricing is at the moment for it.
I reckon it's probably somewhere in the vicinity of maybe 170 to 200, depending on where you buy it.
Yeah,
But,
that's
we'll see. There'll be some
yeah.
pre-orders up.
I'll just put my 07 one up and not try and bend a knee.
Yeah, I mean, look, there's been people saying Jonathan said he's recently got Grindor and has Blackout, and he's happy with those, and that's fine. Like, I mean, you don't have to have the movie masterpiece versions of figures to be happy with them.
I'd love to see someone who's collecting every single figure in a line. I'll shake your hand. I'll gaze in awe at your collection.
You know Griffin.
Well, some say he buys them, some say he's given them, but we'll leave it at that. I know his name is Griffin.
I'm pretty sure he buys many of them. But yeah.
Well, I was going for a Stig reference, but it didn't work.
Yes, fair enough. Yeah. So look, movie masterpiece line, not for everyone, but also we have been wondering what's happening to the general G1 masterpiece line at the moment, because it's been very quiet on releases for later this year. So at the moment, the only masterpiece figure that we know is still to come is Cliffjumper. There's two MPG, the Raiden train combiner figures that are on the schedule for this year. I think we should be hearing something more about subsequent figures in that line soon. And this MPM 13. So that's probably
wasn't there a very early Jetfire prototype as well?
Yes, I don't know whether he's really likely to come this year or not, though.
No,
I think we would have had pre-orders if he was. I think they might well announce him and stuff, but I don't think he'll be out till next year at this rate, if not later.
So we're obviously seeing the result of COVID. Takara not trusting their sweatshop. I mean, engineers and that to go home and design stuff at home where they can leak even more. If it's not done in the factory, it's not getting done at all. So there's nothing getting done at all until the end.
Well, I think it's something like a 2-year delay cycle on figure production. So I think it takes about 2 years from inception for something to come out. So we would be seeing a lot of the impacts of COVID now.
In general, yes, it takes 2 years from like coming up with the idea for a figure to actually getting it out there. I don't think people design toys at the factory. I think they design toys in offices. So I think the designers can definitely have been working from home. One of the things that Hasbro has mentioned, I think also in the recent roundtable, is that there has been a lot of challenges during the pandemic, in that they've not been able to get their staff over to the factories in Vietnam to do spot checks, quality control checks, and things like that. So a lot of the things are sort of being manufactured under local supervision rather than sort of the head office staff coming along and checking them out. People are saying that might explain some of the QC issues we've seen in sort of Earthrise and Kingdom, but I think also those QC issues were coming to light in Siege, which was pre-pandemic. So probably not necessarily something that you can lay the blame at for that. But yeah, I think people have definitely been happily working from home. We've seen plenty of figures designed over the last couple of years and announced. I think we should move on to the next big boy, which is even bigger than this one. It is time to talk about
text. Lines and lines of
pre-orders.
A wall of text. I hope you like text that's in the shape of Cybertron Metroplex. He has been officially confirmed. I think we said this last year. There were rumors that came out towards the end of last year saying that they're going to be doing Cybertron Metroplex as the Titan for 2022. It's confirmed here. He is in all of his Titan-sized glory. He's 22 inches tall. And, he's not at all what anyone wanted for a Titan this year. The reaction from the community has been lukewarm at best. I think
It's a
fair to
good
say.
looking figure. I just, you mentioned everyone has a G1 earlier, Brad. People's G1s are of varying quality. Movies being an easy example of that. I don't know anyone has that feeling for Cybertron. It's
Oh, I do. I mean,
Really?
for the Unicron trilogy in general, definitely has people who consider it their G1. Absolutely.
okay. I'll
Yeah.
stand corrected. I know
Well,
that
it's-
Armada does, but Energon.
Well,
and
it spanned
Cybertron,
it
not so
spanned
much.
such a long, I say a long period of time. Like it was only 4, 5, maybe 6
I would
years.
have said 3 years, to be perfectly honest. Like I don't think the cartoon went on for more than a season each.
No, RRD was
but yeah.
01 and then animated coming in 07, 06. So yeah, it's in that gap in the middle there. I suppose it's, as you said, everyone's got their G1. The original Metroplex, like a lot of the Energon and Cybertron figures, they're not bad figures, whether he's to scale with everyone else like he should be or not. We've seen it. No, it would have been pre-COVID. The Armada Starscream masterpiece third party thing, and we're all wondering then why is a company worrying about doing something from the Unicron trilogy in such a large expensive. Jason, you got that figure, didn't you?
You're talking about Make Toys Meteor. He's up there somewhere. Yes. Yeah.
Make Toys Armada Starscream
Galaxy Force Starscream.
or Galaxy Fast. Yeah, so
Did you say Galaxy Fast?
Galaxy Fast.
unintentionally.
And title.
Yeah. Yeah, but so we knew they'll run out of Titan designs.
I have to say I saw an excellent proposal on Twitter today from Gavin Spence, who does the Transformers reviews done quick. He proposed that the next Titan should be the Decepticon Nemesis ship, and it should have a shark alt mode.
Oh wow!
Because it already looks like it's marine life. So yeah. There's some positive buzz from the live comments on this guy. I think maybe I'm just a bit down on it because I've seen a lot of negative reaction to it. I think a lot of the negative reaction is mainly from people who wanted Metroplex to be reissued, and they're just like, well, what the shit is this? Like, why are you doing this and not
I
giving
think
me
we'd seen
my-
a
my
leaked image and
Metroplex?
heard about a leaked Cybertron Metroplex going back
We
well
have-
over
we-
a year. So we should have.
I wouldn't say
this.
I wouldn't say over a year. I would say late last year we saw a leak of it, and we saw some information indicating that it was coming along. It was definitely locked in late last year from some of the information that was out there. But that doesn't stop people being disappointed that it's not a G1 Metroplex. But
Because I think
I have a sneaking suspicion that this guy is going to be somewhat like the Ark. Like, people will look at it and just go, well, that's not for me. Okay, fine. And then when it comes out and they see photos of it and people get it and they take photos and pose it, I think people are going to come around on it. And I think people will look at it and just go, actually, you know what? He does look pretty good. I like it. I like the color scheme. Like, the character doesn't really do anything for me, but the color scheme looks good. Always like to see a bit of blue and white. His saw blade, excavator, claw weapon thing looks pretty cool. I don't
Doohickey.
doohickey thing, yeah. They've put a lot of effort into putting all the details on that. The blade spins and cool stuff happens to it and stuff. I think he looks good, but I will tell you this right now: there is not a fucking way that I'm paying $300 for this.
No. See,
Well-
for me, it's kind of like it's nice to see them doing a non-G1 Titan, but it's a bit of a middling choice in that as from an engineering perspective, it does look like a good figure. I'm not gonna not say that. It's
Can
just
you
that
just
I
cycle
don't
through
know.
the alt modes, Jason, while he's talking?
Like
We'll see how good of a figure he looks.
I think it looks genuinely like one of the better Titans.
Base mode.
Alt
Base
mode
mode, go to bed.
aside. But
Num,
it's
num,
accurate.
num, num.
It's accurate. That is like
Yeah.
100% animation accurate. So
honestly,
if
I think that's fine. Like,
Like,
it's
if-
not like the other Titans. Short of the arc, it's not like the other Titans have really had, particularly
No.
comprehensive alt
No.
modes or transformations, right? Like, it's
Yeah.
fine.
I guess the
Debbie
trouble
probably
is
got away
just
with
if
it
this
the
doesn't
best.
sell well, then they may get conservative with future Titans.
Well,
So,
Does
well,
that make
so
sense?
as far
they
as
may be
not
more
selling
afraid to
well,
branch out.
but as far as not selling well, this is why I said there's not a damn way that I'm paying $300 for this, because I paid $300 for the Titan, but it was on Amazon for fucking $100 the other day. Like, why on earth would I pay $300 when it's going to come down to $100 on Amazon? Like, and to be perfectly honest, if it doesn't come down to $100, I'm not too fussed. Pricing wise for the Titans, like, for a long time I held firm on about $150 as a buy price for Titans. I think I paid $160 for Omega. I definitely paid about $180 for Trypticon. For Trypticon. Scorponok, I think I paid about $250 for, because he got rare. He got hard to find. And then the art comes out and it's everywhere, and it's clogging store shelves. It's clogging inventory everywhere, such that it's been deep discounted. And I think the reaction to Cybertron Metroplex is kind of about the same as the Arc, and I think there's going to be plenty of him around for discounted sales. If I don't pick this up until this time next year, fine. If I don't pick it up at all because it mysteriously sells out and is really, really popular, also fine. I'm not really that attached to it. I don't think it looks bad, but I also don't really need it if it's going to become rare. I just don't.
well,
think
that's
it
the
will.
thing. If it suddenly popped up on Amazon for $99, would you be compelled to buy it? Because I know
Absolutely.
I wouldn't.
Oh
Okay.
no,
Yeah.
I'd totally get it for $99. Like, that's amazing value, because that's $10 more than a leader class figure for a 22-inch Titan, right? Like, fantastic. Take my money. If you are gonna do it, then great. But if it doesn't, fair enough.
Mm.
Yeah, I'm kind of just apathetic towards it. And it's just it's just a figure.
I have to say
it's
that
not
this,
for me.
I have to
It
say that
looks
in this
fine.
mode, it kind of reminds me of the bulldozer from Mr. Squiggle.
Yeah, steam shovel. Yep.
Steam shovel, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm glad someone's familiar with Mr. Squiggle lore and can correct me.
Yeah.
Also,
it's just.
Can I just call out the box art? Is that box art is gorgeous. Like most of the legacy box art, that just looks fantastic.
Print it out, frame it. Don't worry about buying it. Left click save. It boggles me mind. We've commented for the longest time. Where's the yellow? Where's the orange Devastator? Where's all these other repaints of Titans? The amount of money
Have
we've
we?
spent into this. Well, we have fans, everyone else.
Occasionally, people do want, sort of I think people are like, well, if they sent Combiner Wars Devastator back to the factory and made a yellow one, I'd buy it. But I don't think people are clamoring for it.
Hmm.
The
Yeah.
only Titan that's really actually been repainted, I think the only Titans that have been repainted would be Fort Max, because I think he got a Brave Max
minor retool.
color.
And
And
that was
Scorponok.
Takara had to reach a pre-order threshold too. It was something like
but it's
a
out
few
there.
thousand
And
orders before it actually.
and Scorponok got a re-release just recently as Black Zarak. So they're definitely in the throes of doing multiple Titan figures a year if they can. Big toys are popular and sell, but maybe that's why they've produced so many arcs.
Big toys make the rock and world go round.
That's true. So Cybertron Metroplex,
Ah.
not the home run that not the home run that we perhaps hoped that the Titan would be this year, but also I think we're generally like fairly okay with it. Just maybe it's not for us.
It's
Yeah,
a couple $100 that I'm not going to spend.
yeah.
Yeah.
Shout
It's
out
hard
to
to
Mark
be
in the
Can-
chat. Just a Skybite the size of the Ark that was a nemesis. Take my money. It'd be great, but not this. Anything but this.
I cannot see that comment.
It was a fair way up. I was
Oh,
saving
okay.
it.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Sorry, it's gone.
Yeah, no, it's gone.
Can I perhaps tempt you guys with something that maybe you will be inclined to purchase?
War for Cybertron?
Are you going to just
It's
start
another
selling
wall
me your
text.
secondhand stuff now?
No, there we go. Gen Select's
Quite away.
Cyclonus was announced this week. I don't know why there's a video player on screen. I'll get rid of that. Gen Select Cyclonus, the first repaint / retool of the extremely well received Kingdom Cyclonus mold from last year. It's the first time we've seen it reused. Very, very popular at the time. It's been a year since we've seen it. I think he did get a repack later in Kingdom. So I think he has popped up on shelves again recently. But
There it is.
goodness me, the toy deco Cyclonus that nobody knew that we needed until we saw this figure. Oh my goodness, he looks gorgeous. He comes with a sticker sheet like the Toy Deco Galvatron from last year, which does of course make us think that perhaps there's going to be a Toy Deco Scourge. Although they already did Scourge and Sweep in Studio Series, so maybe that one's considered already done. Who knows? He also does come with yet another use of the Target Master, the Target Master mold. I think Hasbro has trotted this Target Master out in different colors for basically everyone who ever looked in the direction of a Target Master in G1 gets this guy in their Generations version. But yeah, this version of Cyclonus just looks gorgeous. I'm throwing my money down for it. The thing that does it for me the most, I think, is the blue horns on it, because it's such a callback to a very specific early run of the original Cyclonus toy where the horns are blue, and they changed the color of them later on, but they've brought the blue horns back in all their glory, and that shiny blue looks fantastic.
Well, that
What
with,
do you-
that
what do
with
you
the
guys think?
midsection just against the deep purple,
I
it just
know.
really pops. It accentuates, because the standard King Cyclonus is pretty much just two-toned with a little bit of black as well, whereas this is just
yes.
a little bit extra. Just looks classy.
It does.
the
He
best
also
way I could
he
describe
looks
it.
like he has a slightly shiny metallic paint job as well, but I'm not sure if that's just the renders or not. But
The blue
Oh,
certainly
goodness.
looks a bit shinier. I'm not sure about the purple.
yeah,
He's got
yeah.
the windows on top of the cockpit painted as well.
I think those
another
might be
slight
stickers actually.
Oh, yeah.
Uh-oh.
Yeah,
which
yeah,
ma-
no,
which
he-
means
he-
they'll remain unpainted on most people's copies.
Yes,
Yeah.
he does come with a sticker sheet. So yeah, I'm pretty sure those are stickers. Are they flames? Are those flames on the top of Cyclonus?
Oh, he's
There's
taken
only-
from the
there's-
movie Prime.
There's only one thing to do. No, they're not actually flames, but they kinda
Streaks,
look like
yeah.
flames. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we're-
Cybertronian flames.
yes, yeah, exactly. But yeah, just confirming from that, like you can definitely see that the sort of the extra cockpit windows are definitely, I'm just going to say, poorly applied stickers.
It's very poorly applied.
I
In the robot mode photo, someone pointed out on Twitter that one of the stickers on the shins will just rip in half if you transform it with a words applied.
He applied it across the joint.
But yeah, bottom
Oh,
left
you
mean-
shin, or both of them actually. Yeah,
is that what you mean there, where it's just showing up the tooltip, or because the way that is that where the landing gear comes down?
yeah,
I think the landing gear comes down from the top, doesn't it?
yeah. But it'll chew up that sticker there because it's
yeah.
applied over the landing gear.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, like, yeah.
Oh,
it's
when
true.
you want to be the best to get the photos out there, you're going to take shortcuts.
I guess they have to leave something for repro labels to sell.
Yeah.
Then again,
So
I
yeah,
also don't think most people apply the stickers on these.
I probably won't. I didn't apply the stickers to my toy Galvatron, but he's still my favorite. He's still my favorite Galvatron. Just fantastic. In fact, there was a DNA upgrade kit for him announced just this week that I'm goodness me, I seem to have caught the upgrade kit bug. We've been talking about upgrade kits for years on this show, and I've just been like, "Fuck, why would you buy an upgrade kit?" Now I'm just like, yes, fine, DNA upgrades for Scorponok, I'll do it. Black Zarak, I'll do it. Well, since I'm doing that, maybe I'll do Kingdom Galvatron as well. We'll see how we go.
Oh, when you love something, you treat it well.
It's true.
Agreed.
He is an excellent.
It's like a chew toy for your dog, you know.
I guess, yeah. Is a chew toy for me? I don't know. So you can order Gen Select's Cyclonus. I think he's due for I'm gonna say an August released. I think he's up for pre-order on Amazon now. I think his price is about $75. He's a Voyager plus a Battle Master, so like, you know. Plus the sort of the general price rises on everything. The price just you know sort of tilt your head and blur your eyes and just let it go. At least with Amazon, it'll be that price shit. So, yeah. Anyone else going to be pre-ordering this Cyclonus?
No, not for me.
Any silence.
Yeah, he looks good, but yeah, I'm not sure if it's quite good enough to warrant putting aside the other version. But
I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know that he needs to be put aside, but yeah, fair enough.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, so he'll probably go on some sort of discount down the track, or at least I hope so. It's something to consider picking up because it does look very nice.
It does. Anonymous Facebook user says $50 plus $10 plus post Amazon's price adds up. Yep,
Yeah, that's pretty reasonable.
Yep. All righty, we are going to move on to the next story, which is some leaks of some upcoming figures have come along that seemingly confirm some of the lines that we're seeing that we've seen rumored. We are looking at a Legacy Twin Twist. Now, we say Legacy, but this is the Titan's Return Twin Twist mold, Headmaster and all. But he's been repainted in his Diaclone colors, which is definitely a thing that Hasbro is into this year because the Generations Selects figures have been coming with Diaclone reimaginings. We had DK2 and we had Lift Ticket. So yeah, we did expect to see Top Spin and Twin Twist in they were rumored in I think it's an Amazon Wreckers line. I'm just trying to open up my list of things because there's a lot of things that I keep track of things that people are interested in. Where's Twin Twist? So yeah, so Twin Twist is rumored under the Wreckers line for Amazon, which it should be an Amazon exclusive line. There'll be a Top Spin as well. There's also said to be an Impactor, a Leadfoot, a Springer, and a Bulkhead in this line. So we'll see how that comes out. Whether that ends up being sort of similar to the Golden Disc sets from last year, or if it ends up being something else that might be sort of more standard retail packaging. We'll find out. I believe these leaked images came from, I think it was from Chefatron, who's known to be one of the people who buys leaked figures. known to be one of the people who buys leaked figures, and yeah, so. I mean, there's nothing to indicate that it wouldn't be legit. It would be nice to see. Sort of a return to some of the older, maybe a little bit larger style figures for that line with Top Spin and Twin Twist. But I think the colors look pretty fantastic. What do you guys think of him?
He certainly looks the part.
Yeah, mirrors the
I'd be
original
interested to
figure
see-
pretty well.
Be interesting to see how much demand there actually is for him. But I can't deny that he does look really crisp.
I've seen a lot of people getting pretty excited about this, especially from these colors. You know, and I actually don't think I ever really handled the Titans Return top spin and twin twist. So have you guys played with them?
Yeah, I sold mine off ages and ages ago, but they were like they weren't bad. They were just another Titans Return figure, I suppose.
Yep.
Yeah.
So a lot of the Titans Return figures wound up. Well, they were all fairly uniquely engineered. I guess none of them. There were only a couple of them that really stood out above the pack. And in my view, those two weren't really one of them.
No, that
So,
seems
they were decent figures. It's nothing wrong with them. They were just a deluxe class figure, I guess.
Yeah.
Well, that's it. If you haven't got a connection or so forth to the character, then it's probably not something you collect. So
the photo that's up here at the moment, we sort of have red Sunstreaker, black Ironhide, Diaclone Twin Twist, and yellow Sideswipe as well. There's
Sunstreaker.
yellow Sideswipe officially. Well, actually, it's Tiger Track, but yeah. Also one of the like that Siege Lamborghini mold was just gorgeous anyway. So like, I'm very very fond of that anyway in the first place. But it's 2022 and everything old is new again. We're celebrating all of these decos of toys that in some cases never even got released. Or in some cases with like Diaclone releases were even released in like pre-Transformers lines or not even as Transformers. So I think it's really good that we can mine nostalgia for the brand and so much. And I think people have generally reacted pretty well to this figure. I'm going to move on because I mean it is just a leak. So like we've got a couple more leaks to talk about tonight as well. We also have a buzzworthy Bumblebee Voyager Dinobot repaint. There are several buzzworthy Bumblebee repaints this year that are said to be toy deco repaints, so they're intended to be the Kingdom released figures in their original colors. So that's going to be the theme of the next couple of images that we look at. There is this version of Dinobot that people have looked at and just gone, well, it looks flesh colored, which is
raw chook. Thanks, Rob.
yeah. So,
I have to assume it's a prototype still.
No, that's what
Because
the original figure was like.
Even the original one has a bit of a sheen to it, so it doesn't quite look fleshy. Like there's a bit of a shine to the plastic, so it it looks like a, I don't know. It's not this. This is this is body horror.
And the chat has exploded.
Because it looks like they've taken a dinosaur and then peeled the skin off. Like,
granted, the original one's more of a tan.
I don't know who this person is. They just said nobody wants salmon, and the last one we'll put up naked Budgie John.
I mean, this could turn out to be one of those things where it becomes really sought after because of how awful it is.
In 15 years' time, we'll be talking about the Titans version of it.
It could be a cult classic, It could be it could be a Transformers movie franchise.
Look, now that we've had fun with it, I will just point out there's also some good results. Jonathan Hawkins says that it's really taken him back to his childhood. It really looks like the original toy, and Chris says the head sculpt is rad. The head just comes up really dark, and I don't know whether that's just like this is a poor camera that's having trouble balancing light and dark, or if that's actually the original colors with the original colors with that stuff. But look, I think it's on record that I don't really care for the beasts. I do have the what do I have? I have the Dinobot remold from the Kingdom Battle Across Time. So the Grimlock version of Dinobot. I don't actually know where he is. I assume he's around somewhere. and that's like I've played with that and I'm okay with that, but don't need too much more. What is going on there?
Just
Oh,
reading
the chat's going off.
The chat is going on. He has orange crotch disease.
It's a very like that orange even is a very specific shade. Like, it looks,
Yeah.
I can't see those shins as anything other than Cheetos. Like they
No, that's-
really look uncanny valley like Cheetos.
Those
Yeah.
CC tornado chip things, the Doritos.
Yeah.
Mm.
So look. This photo has appeared, and I think this will be the last one. There's Trump orange.
Yeah, we got to stop.
Yeah.
It's also just something for the fact that it's sitting on someone's doily. Like,
Yeah.
is someone taking this to their grandma's house? And it's just, oh, he just put it down next to the flowers.
Look. Dinobot's always been known to be a bit fancy. So yeah. So just to the actual news, right? So this is the first time that we've actually seen what promises to be a buzzworthy Voyager Dinobot. And I can confirm, having looked at lists of things that are coming out this year, this is definitely on the list. So this is definitely a thing that is happening. Whether we're looking at an early unfinished paint job that's come out of the factory, I don't know. We'll see. And random Facebook users says I have 0 doilies in my house. I don't know if that's true. I think everyone's got a doily in their house somewhere.
There's that law of somewhere there's a duck. You're always being watched by a duck, right? And it says somewhere there's always going to be a doily in your house. You just don't know it.
I'm fairly sure I'm not being watched by a duck, but okay. Yeah.
It's like you're always within like line of sight of a duck. I forget where the joke originates. There's a second part to the joke, but
Okay.
by the same token, there's always a doily in your house. You just don't know it.
I mean, it's gone well. Let's go for
No,
the
it
next.
hasn't.
Let's go for the next repaint story, shall we? We'll take a look at the next repaints that have come out. Another leak that I think has come from Chefitron. We have a toy deco Scorponok and Parasite. Now, so this is the third release of the Kingdom Scorponok mold. We've had Scorponok and we've had Sandstorm and the Legacy Beast this year. This will be the third release of the Scorponok figure, and probably the one that everyone wanted all along because the color scheme of it. The colors do look pretty good. Now, this guy is said to be in a buzzworthy Bumblebee multi-pack. Now, the words buzzworthy Bumblebee multi-pack to us conjure the name Worlds Collide, which was the 4-pack that came out last year. Didn't come out in some territories, but it's now clogging store shelves in Australia, which is funny because it ended up really quite popular and sought after here. So if we're looking at a 2022 excuse me, if we're looking at a 2022 version of Worlds Collide, then we are said to be seeing Scorponok, Parasite, who's the black and purple repaint of Buzzsaw and Waspinator there on the right. And so there's said to be 2 other figures that will be coming in that, and one is said to be Goldbug. Now we saw a Goldbug released last year in the Shattered Glass set, so this could be the I guess the Prime Universe version of Goldbug, and we're also looking at Ransack. Not entirely sure what Ransack will be yet, but it seems likely that he's probably a repaint of an Insecticon. Maybe he's a repaint of one of the maybe he's a repaint of Kickback. I don't know. But yeah, he'll be out later this year. There is a second Insecticon on the horizon. I think it's Shrapnel. Yeah, so Shrapnel.
I'm sure they're all coming.
I'm sure they're all coming as well. But yeah, so I'm sure there's I'm sure that one of the Insecticons will get repainted into his deluxe version. Well, Rob actually says Ransack will be a repaint of Legacy RC. Oh,
Probably a better use of the mold.
maybe. I am expecting
Google what G1 Ransack looks like again.
I am expecting a repaint of Legacy RC in the Shattered Glass line as well as Flame War. We'll see how it goes.
You've seen it before, Max. That was the orange crutch of Dinobot.
Oh yeah, no. Cybertron Ransack. I was wondering why I could. Because he's a Insecticon and Geon, but I could see that being. Yeah, because he was a
And we can't see
motorcycle
what
in
you're seeing,
Cybertron.
so it means
No,
nothing.
Hold on, let me-
that's fine. Yeah.
Whereas
Yeah, cool. Okay, so maybe it will be an RC repaint. I'm also expecting an RC repaint in Shattered Glass, so that'll be the third use of that mold this year. So, fair enough. Get their money's worth out of the new motorbike mold.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um,
Oh, Legacy.
Chris has asked a thorny
Oh.
question: War for Cybertron RC or Legacy RC, which is better? They're both completely different figures because one is G1 RC and the other is Prime RC. I mean,
I
they're
was going to
both.
say the War for Cybertron's the car version, which is
Yeah,
G1.
She's quite the shell former. She's quite the shell former, and she's also quite the shelf warmer. But yeah, I don't know. Legacy RC is ostensibly a better figure. There's better. There's better proportions, there's better articulation, and better balance in the figure. But it depends whether you want a G1 or a Transformers Prime RC.
They're both probably going to cost you $40 at the moment too. So
I think so. Like you'll still see RC around places at the moment. I think people will be happy to get rid of her. But, yeah. All right, let's move on. Is there another leak story for us to talk about? No, there's not. The next story is our favourite topic of the night. Transformers
Here we
War
go.
for Cybertron Siege is available for digital purchase. So, if just in case you wanted to relive the glory of the six episode Siege miniseries, does the fact that it's gone for digital purchase mean that it's off Netflix?
who knows what's going on with Netflix nowadays?
while you're looking up the price of
Changed
this
the whole
purchase,
structure
I'll check
around, haven't they?
Netflix. Well, animated, yeah, it's animated feature, so maybe it has been. Although it's only new animated stuff, I think they're not doing anymore.
Here we go. Yeah. So, yeah, no, it's there. It's definitely still on Netflix. So like, you can either let's go and let's try this live. Let's see how much Amazon wants to charge for an episode. They're $3 an episode, which means the entire season is. The entire season is $18, which is basically it's more expensive than a month of Netflix. So like if you want to watch Siege, you can just get a month of Netflix.
Yeah, and watch. We've got original Age of Extinction, Revenge of the Fallen, Dark of the Moon. They're all on there. Of course, I haven't got Last Night because no one's got the Last Night. But the yeah.
I don't really know why you would do this. Look, I'm happy to sit here and just go, well, why would you do this? Blah blah. However, I will point out that when each of the series has come out, like Siege, Earthrise, and Kingdom, people have actually asked the question, how can I get these without a Netflix subscription? And everyone's just gone, just get a Netflix subscription or use the 2-week free trial, whatever. But yeah, there you go. Like you do have an option if you really don't want to pay for a Netflix subscription. You do have an option for. I mean, you had an option to get the content all along. We all know, but yeah.
And also, too, let's not forget that we aren't seeing the analytics for watch time, viewings, and anything like that. Obviously, enough people watch this series to warrant the others that come after it. So they're obviously seeing there's a market there to sell it off as a episode by episode or as a season. So.
I'm going to take issue with that. I actually don't think that's necessarily true because I think this was a Hasbro production all along, and Hasbro just managed to get Netflix to carry it. We do know that Netflix has declined a series based on Legacy, which I think also probably speaks either to the fact that Netflix copped flack for carrying a let's just say substandard animation in this series, or they didn't make enough money to make it worth their while. So, the Transformers series wouldn't have driven new signups, wouldn't have driven that many video views for them. So, when presented presumably the same offer as the production deal for War for Cybertron for Legacy, Netflix said no.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't mean Hasbro won't do it themselves and go send it off on their own streaming platform again. It's happened before. It happened with Prime Wars. It's happened with other things. So I don't know. I don't know whether we're actually going to get a series that's based on Legacy. I think as time goes on, that seems less and less likely.
Glad to see a lot of comments in the chat about physical media. Like anything I have digitally owned and purchased, I also have physical as well. So we are dinosaurs. There's not many of us left, but want physical copies as well. But considering I can't. You're
Sorry,
right,
interrupted.
I was just going to say, considering I still can't buy all 3 seasons of Prime on Blu-ray, is just shocking. But that's a sign of times.
Yeah, I was just going to say I think that if the need or desire to own these things physically is a really it's not simply a matter of just what people wanting to have a physical product they can hold. There's also a bit of a I guess you call it an issue nowadays where people view different forms of art with different validity, and so it's a particular problem with video games where most video games nowadays are digital purchases only.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
But because of that, a lot of the time they'll just entirely disappear. So, if you can't own with digital media, if you can't own that physical product, if something happens to the copyright or a license expires, something like that, it's a frequent thing now where this thing that is ultimately a piece of art, or at the end of the day, a product that you have paid for, will just disappear. And it's all perfectly within terms and conditions, but people want to be able to preserve this stuff.
I think it's also fair that when we're talking about people who collect things, as Transformers collectors do, I think it's perhaps unfair for us to expect the digital entertainment part of Transformers to be an exception to wanting to own things. So, people want it, even if they just want to have it on the shelf. Rob says I wouldn't mind buying the whole War for Cybertron trilogy on Blu-ray. Presumably, it would look amazing on Blu-ray. The sound mix would probably be all right. I mean, the sound mix was all right in the original series. There's and I assume there's reasons for that as well. So yeah. Mark says NFT the series into private ownership. No. Mark also said earlier, I put this up but I didn't get to speak to it. The Machinima series showed up again on YouTube. That's because the Machinima series is kind of like The Ring. You got to watch out. It's a haunted thing. If you watch it on YouTube 7 days later, you'll probably buy some I don't know, you'll buy a Power Ranger or something. Yeah.
Titans Class, Cybertron, Metroplex.
Yes. So very likely Earthrise and the like will follow it. Yeah. Whether that's something you really
find a way you can rip it onto your PC and save the digital copy that way.
You've been able to get these things as downloads for ages anyway.
Yeah. Yep.
I have thrown a piece of artwork news in.
Psychedelic.
There's a couple of people in the community that I've spoken to about my desire to own Tom Whalen Transformers pieces. I've even emailed Tom Whalen to find out where to get some of his pieces, and it was just I don't know, they're all out of print. So especially given the recent anniversary that's passed of Transformers the movie, I remember seeing some amazing artwork on one of the Hasbro live streams. It was behind Matt Ferguson, who did the artwork for the anniversary Blu-ray set last year. And I saw this artwork on the wall behind him, and I messaged him, and I was like, where was that poster from? Who did it? And he said, oh, Tom Whalen did it. And Tom Whalen's done a lot of Transformers stuff, but it's all really hard to find. Like it never comes up as secondhand purchases on eBay. There's never, like, people buy this stuff and it goes into their collection, and it very rarely comes out again. So the More Art gallery has advertised that they are doing limited print runs of this new poster, and so they're doing a sort of a standard edition of the poster and a hollow foil edition of the poster as well. And to be perfectly honest, I'm probably going to go for the hollow foil one. It's a little bit more expensive. It's a little bit more exclusive. It's a little bit more special. And to be blunt, this is a, you know, it's pretty much like one of my great life obsessions, Transformers. So, you know, why wouldn't I celebrate the movie with, you know, the most expensive and most exclusive version of the poster?
Yeah, that is a better looking one in my opinion. Anyway, yep.
Yeah. Mark says, "Who did the art for the Legacy packaging? Release that." I totally agree with you, Mark. The Legacy packaging looks fantastic.
I remember there's a similar sentiment back around Combiner Wars in particular.
Yeah.
Like, it's been a recurring theme that people want to see this stuff released. You know, something like an art book, like a coffee table style thing, would be brilliant, but it's just never eventuated.
Surely it's someone that's doing the comics, or someone they can just say, "Hey, do this up in your spare time" or something.
I think some of the artwork. I'm not entirely sure how involved he is in all of it these days, but Ken Christensen has been involved in a lot of the packaging artwork for quite some time, and we even noticed this year, like looking at, say, the package for Kingdom Blaster versus the package for Legacy Blaster, they redid the artwork. Like, Legacy Blaster's artwork is different to the one that got released, you know, mere months beforehand. There's a lot of effort going into the packaging. I've been joking with a couple of people that looking at the packaging, the Legacy packaging looks to me as if it's almost got some kind of a high dynamic range element to it. Like, it just pops. Like, there's this really nice sort of dark purple as the base of it, and all of the figures seem to have like a nice glow, and the colors of them really pop on the artwork. So really hard agree. Like, I'd love to see some release of Legacy packaging artwork. I would also actually really like Hasbro to just make some of this artwork available either as downloads or as like just posters or a coffee table book, some kind of a thing. You know, once the line is finished, you know, like put all the artwork into a collected book and, you know, print it on demand or something. Like, it doesn't have to be a big expensive project or anything like that.
Well, look at history, and Chris mentions before the War for Cybertron promotional posters. Remember back in the day, I think it was in Canberra, people were destroying bus stops because they had the big War for Cybertron posters in glass.
That was in fact the Titans Return Fort Max.
Titans
posters.
Return, yeah.
I've still got one of those in the wardrobe.
You broke a bus stop as well.
No, I bought it off someone who broke a bus stop.
Remember also, Hasbro's response to that was that they actually gave us the high-res artwork and made it available for download.
But big posters.
So the answer to that is do more vandalism.
I believe do more vandalism, get more
sound
downloads.
of an endorsement as you can get.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
All right. There's one last news story I wanted to bring up, which is
what I think it's going to be. That's not it. Okay. What's this?
You can tell me what you thought it was going to be afterwards. So Transformers: Rise of the Beasts. Some footage has been shown to people at CinemaCon. CinemaCon is a story, an event that has popped up in the news quite a lot this week. There's been a lot of news come out of CinemaCon. Avatar, there's 4 new Avatar movies coming. We now know the name for the 7th Mission Impossible movie, and a bunch of people have seen the new Top Gun movie, and now there's some footage of the new Transformers movie has been shown. They say it hasn't been shown. It hasn't been shown to the public. It was only shown to attendees. So some of the stuff that has been written online about it says the the footage showed Optimus, Bumblebee, and RC. RC is said to look like G1 RC. Whether that means that she looks like G1 RC by way of the Bumblebee movie, or if it's another new design, is yet to be seen. Optimus is said to look like he did in the Bumblebee movie, and Bumblebee looks like Bayverse Bumblebee. Same car mode, same face, and same visual cues. Interesting. The footage shows RC hanging on the side of a moving car as she's about to take shots with her gun, but no dialogue was uttered. It was only
The car's hanging off a car.
Yes, a car hanging off a car. There's only 12 seconds of shots. There is a slightly different description. It says no beasts were shown. The film is said to have an old school look, not like a Michael Bay movie.
Set in the 80s, so that's explainable.
No, it's in the 90s actually.
That too. It's old.
It says no dialogue, quick cuts from various scenes, and the whole reel is said to be about 12 seconds long. I mean, the movie's a year away from release, and it's going to be very effects heavy, so like it's not really too much of a surprise.
That's probably why you haven't seen the beast. Yeah. And it
So,
probably goes back to earlier when we we're talking about what figures are out now, and that the movie was supposed to be out this year, so April we should have been getting wave one of all the Rise of the Beast figures coming out now, and that's probably another reason why it's a bit dry at stores currently as well.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I think you're right about that. I think those. So I'm not sure that they actually did plan like multiple waves of Rise of the Beasts figures. Like, I do have a listing of some Rise of the Beasts stuff, but there's only like 7 items on the thing for it. Because like, remember with Bumblebee, there was no actual, or there was a Bumblebee line, but the figures that everyone wanted came out in Studio Series.
Yeah.
All right, that is it for news. We are a little bit over, so let's do some acquisitions. See what people.
Where is my MP10 version 4? You cut.
MP10 version 4. Do you mean a Convoy 4.0?
No, from Jada Toys.
Oh.
Don't worry. We'll talk about it next week. The week after that.
You put in the auto converting Jada remote control prime.
Yes.
Yeah,
right.
I figured given that there were actual toys to talk about, I didn't figure the remote control prime as that wasn't that important.
And after Roberson Prime, like anything else is a mere attempt at.
We'll see. I have seen some Roberson Primes turning up in people's hands this week. A lot of people are very happy with that figure. Yeah. Acquisitions. Who has new toys to talk about? Max.
Well, speaking of devil, I just have Roberson Prime right here. No, don't. Max.
I was expecting to pull it out. No, I've been catching up on some retail figures recently. So thanks to Jacob in the TCCA buy sell trade group, picked up a couple of recent voyages.
That's what I was going for. Sorry. There we go.
So yeah, these are both. So that's SS86 Hot Rod and Kingdom Cyclonus. Both just bloody excellent. Cyclonus is kind of, you were talking about how well received he is earlier, and that is for good reason. He's kind of, it's kind of just the quintessential Transformer.
When Cyclonus came out last year, in like January, February, people instantly said he was going to be the figure of the year.
Like, yeah, it's something where he's not doing any one thing like ultra spectacularly. He's just, he's a big chunky Voyager figure that does everything he needs to with a really clever and intuitive transformation. It's just like, it really is just a sort of quintessential Transformer. I feel like I should have more to say about it, but it kind of just does everything right. So it's not particularly unique. It's just a really solid thing.
It's not exciting and amazing, but it's just a really solid figure.
Yeah, it's got some really clever stuff in the transformation, which sort of amounts to a lot of the same tricks that the old Universe Deluxe pulled, but just upscaled and expanded upon. yeah, well, it's really just yeah, like I said, kind of. It's hard to actually say anything about it because it's exactly what you want. And the other one was SS86 Hot Rod for Studio Series. Now these two are obviously both Voyagers, but
Well,
it's a bit of a size difference. But
Hot
you
Rod
feel
is
the
a
budget
Voyager
in this.
price point because he has accessories, right? Like he was never
He's got
he was never
accessories,
claimed he was never claimed to be a Voyager figure.
but then he also just as a figure himself feels so much higher. Like it feels almost like a higher end thing than you would even expect at a full size Voyager price point.
He's got a lot
just
of really neat tricks,
disgustingly
especially
good.
around his shoulders.
Yeah, like people talked about it as a mini masterpiece, and you sort of look at it and you go, "Yeah, I can see that," but it genuinely is. Like he just does a lot of little things, like the way the arm panels slip around. There's a lot of little touches there that wouldn't necessarily be there on a standard Lux or a standard Voyager, but just because they're experimenting with a price point like this, you wind up with something that, yes, technically smaller, but he's just jam-packed of engineering. Just the overall build quality. Like when you pose him, he doesn't feel like a Transformer so much. He feels like a Figure Arts or a Figma figure, which also is aided by the fact that he's ridiculously posable. It's just fantastic. Just got distracted by Mark's comment. So for Mark's reference, I work as a snake catcher, and we put snakes in the bin. So
it's not a bin.
So Mark's made a comment saying I've never seen a garbage bin perched on a shelf before.
it's just where I keep my Titans Return figures.
Oh,
yes. Snakes in the grass.
Yeah.
So, Max, I want to ask at this point: do you have the Kingdom Rodimus Prime as well?
No. So Jacob, the guy I bought these from, had him for a very reasonable price as well, and ultimately I was kind of just went, well, I have DX9 carry.
No, fair enough. Yeah.
And Rodimus, I know I'm just going to have this slab of a trailer tossed in aside somewhere. So
look, I will just say that since they did Hot Rod and Rodimus in in different size classes, within a few months of each other, essentially, Kingdom Rodimus, like you were saying, the 86 Hot Rod tries some really interesting things for his price point, and it comes out really well. Kingdom Rodimus is basically the 86 Hot Rod on steroids. Like, it's a really high quality figure. Things have weight, things have heft, panels move smartly in it. It's amazing what you can do with a figure in the same size when there's a higher budget to play with for the amount of parts that go into it.
Yeah, I've heard nothing but good things about him. He just doesn't quite. I guess I just don't really feel a need for him personally.
Fair enough too. Chris agrees with me. Chris says Kingdom Rodimus is epic AF.
But it's probably something I will wind up picking up, even if I already have multiple Rodomai. If that's a real plural.
Actually, Rodimus is the correct form of plural of Rodimus.
Rods, or if it's a hot rod, it's just rods, I guess.
Yes.
Yeah. And anyway, end of the day, bloody excellent. And yeah, couldn't be more pleased with what they're doing with this sort of price point experimentation, because it's leading to some very, very nice stuff.
Excellent.
Nice.
Brad, how about yourself?
No, I've as I said, seen a couple of new things. Mainly the little legend stuff, the spike in the exosuit, but seeing the alt mode, like the masterpiece version is better. Although
did you just laugh in front of saying alt mode on purpose? I've seen that.
Well,
alt mode.
Well, we talked earlier with the Titans, so they just sort of lay down and do something as an alt mode, and it sort of does the same thing. I think the spike head, even though it's still lacking detail, is a probably more detailed head than what the masterpiece one has. But yeah. Apart from that, there's not a lot of new stuff. Every time I go into Kmart, there's 5 Cyclones still on the shelves. Seen another Sparkle Seeker the other day. I probably should be quiet about that because otherwise I'll be shipping more out to you. Yeah, just weird. I think some figures are being found in storage and brought out, but not really anything
It certainly
new.
seems
I'm
that way
hunting.
sometimes.
Yeah.
Right, I have one acquisition to go with this week. Do I have any? No, I have one acquisition to go with this week. Let me put myself up there. I bought a Super 7 figure.
Oh, tell me more.
So I've seen the Super 7 figures. I saw the Super 7 figures when they came out. I was not very plussed with them. They're about $33 for something that's basically the size of like a Legend scale Transformer. Like just they don't have much
Oh, we're
articulation or anything like
thinking
that.
about different Super 7 figures, I think.
You're thinking about the Super 7 Ultimates.
Yeah, I was thinking about the ones that look actually
No, so-
interesting.
So I saw this figure in December and I thought it was hilarious and I added it to my BBTS pile of loot. Now we know how the pile of loot works. You get about 90 days to ship it out. So in March I shipped it out and I shipped it over to my freight forwarder in the US and then it's gone to Hong Kong and it's sat there. So it's here now. So it's from December. It is Christmas Optimus Prime.
That's awfully green.
I know,
I do love the candy cane gun though. That's fantastic.
I think it's hilarious. Like the Santa hat just makes it. The green tint on everything is like it's fantastic as well. But like it's the candy cane gun, right? Like the candy cane gun is the thing that makes this figure.
Well-
But also it's the Santa hat on the head as well. Like it's just figures made. So
The candy cane gun with the sort of mushy detail with that specific shade of green, like he does look kind of edible.
Oh wow!
I do. So I have since that struggled to show him up there. I do have a photo that I'll put up on the screen share. There we go. So that's it. You sort of get a much better look at him there. Yeah. So everything's green there. The candy cane gun, the Santa hat. Like it's what's not to love, you know. So this also is a good opportunity to take a look at what Super 7 figures give you, right? You can turn his head, you can move his arms up and down, you cannot bend his elbows, you basically cannot move his legs, like the legs sort of move. But yeah, actually no, do I tell a lie? Oh yeah, no, the legs do actually move, but the knees do not.
Hip joints, hip joints.
So the legs move forward. So you can have him sit down, but you can't have him kneel. So yeah, I mean, Prime kneels for no one. We know that. But yeah,
Christmas is the right of all sentient beings.
Yeah.
Oh.
So you're gonna
When he's sitting down, he looks cozy with that hat. And everything.
yeah. I mean, like Christmas.
I think it's the
cozy.
hat.
What do you want?
Take the hat off, and it's a head scratcher, but the hat just makes it.
I don't. No, you can't take the hat off. No, the hat's molded
That's
on.
good.
Yeah, I
You
did
don't
not
wanna lose
list.
it.
I did not list the hat as a point of articulation, Brad.
No, that's all right. Lose the hat,
Yeah.
and you don't know what it is.
Yeah. Mark says it's Peter Garrett articulation. The legs don't move, but the arms spin wildly. All right. So as the rest of us work all day in blue sky mines, I think that comes and brings us to the end of the show. Not sure there's anything else much that we need to bring up before the end of the show. We're at about an hour and a half. That seems to be where we land on a lot of the shows these days. Does anyone have anything to add before we bring the show to a close?
It was, but Christmas Prime, out of my mind. So I don't know. We'll bring it up next time.
Christmas Prime has taken over everyone's thought process. In which case, Thank you everyone for listening. Thank you for watching along with the live record. Thank you everyone, especially like for Friday night. It's been really good having a lot of live comments on this stream as well. We've really enjoyed it.
Distracting, but great. It's great to act along.
I
See
think
you all there.
I think it's distractingly fun.
Yeah,
I hope the people listening to it also enjoy the fact that we reacted to live comments. And I don't think we got too far in the weeds. So
it's
thank you,
free. You
everyone.
don't have to be patrons. You don't have to be on Discord. Just sign on, use your Facebook name, and comment. Go for it.
It's true. So you can find out more about all these stories and more. There's links in the show notes. You can get in touch with us via the podcast website, transformersweekly.podbean.com. Our Facebook page is Australian Transformers Weekly. And, of course, we're all in the Transformers Collectors Club Australia group on Facebook. You'll find us in your podcatcher of choice if you happen to be listening to us on some other method, like on YouTube. We are a production of Transformers Collectors Club Australia, a registered club in Victoria run by volunteers donating their time, effort, energy, money, and Friday nights to make collecting in Australia better for everyone. We want to build the Australian Transformers collecting community by engaging fans around the country, making content like this podcast. We attend live in-person events like Oz Comic Con, and we run Facebook's largest dedicated Australian Transformers Facebook discussion and sales communities. We also do offer annual memberships. It's close to the end of the membership year, so to be perfectly honest, you probably don't want to sign up right about now. I also have it on good authority that we're almost about to run out of things for our member packs. So maybe if you'd like to show your support for the club, please sign up in the next financial year. You can find out more about the club and the benefits of membership at transformerscca.com. That is all from us. We will be back with more Transformers news soon. Probably not likely to be next Friday because I know I'm away, but if other people do a show, then so be it. But we'll see how we...
That was a genuinely really good menacing laugh.
That was. It reminds me that I need to either give Brad I need to give Brad an indication of how to run streams on StreamYard, or I don't.
I think the over a lot of people are saying no, do not. Yes.
Fair enough too. All right, and without further ado, that is it for us. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching, everyone, and we will see you with more Transformers news in the next week or two.
We will. Night, guys.
Later.